talent in my kitchen, begging for some mercy. My niggas with that action when it's crack. They be thirsty, I be picky with my clothes. She's designer when I'm wearing. Never seen this in the store, so when she looks, she get to staring. But I like that shit, I'm arrogant. I get that from my parents. But I told you, I don't walk the streets, I run them like it's errands. I be feeling like I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover, all them. Say she got mad, I understand. Shorty call him. He be f***ed up. I be wishing I could call Tim. Boss so hard they can't find us, they be like, bro, this y'all gym. Niggas they be giving up. They gon' give it up. Dope man, 10, 20 bands, I stick them up. You will get change for some change, I don't give a f. They don't know who shot like pop when I hit them up. Pop, pop, body drop, cops gotta zip them up. Another body drop, so the ops get to clinking up. Niggas know I'm hot, so hot, I sizzle up. One shot, so the toughest nigga he'll shrivel up. Back like I never left, better than I ever been. Got her super ready, better than she ever been. Took her to the top floor, she said she ain't never been. Got her where I want her, all I gotta do is tell her when. About ready to shine now, watch say my time now. Said that shit before, but I ain't never write that line down. Freestyle Ayo and niggas still playing that. And when they hear this, they ain't gonna hesitate to play it back. Boom!
Shaquan Jerome Thomas, also known as Young Pappy, born May 10th, 1995, died May 29th, 2015. I was scrolling through Instagram the other day and came across a young white kid freestyling at some type of America's Got Talent show, and every bar he spit was about stealing and robbing, betrayal by close friends, being the most shiesty and reckless, and of course deleting all his ops without a care in the world. Clearly all a figment of his imagination and inspiration from today's rap music that in recent years has set itself at the forefront of popular music. The one form of rap that made the most advancement as of recent is drill rap. Violent music has always existed in hip-hop and rap, but in Chicago during the 2010s, rappers began to take the violence to a whole other level and coined the term drill music. For them, it initially meant the music you played before or sometimes while on a quote drill, which means driving around looking for the opposition in hopes of catching them unaware, unarmed, or lacking, as they say. At that point, it was do as you please to said op, hopefully taking their young life. It's music filled with pollution and self-destructive hate toward your own kind, but has been praised for its hard-sounding beats and authenticity, which we can all relate to, whether in music or everyday life. We all want something authentic. I know personally, if I'm enjoying gangsta rap music, I certainly want to know that the rapper isn't just making up some story, all while he lives with both parents in the suburbs and went to a private school with the name Clarence. And that's where drill culture received most its support from fans. One rapper that checked all the boxes was a rapper from the north side of Chicago by the name Young Pappy. Full disclosure, Young Pappy is in my top 3 favorite drill rappers of all time, along with FBG Duck and of course King Von. If Lil Durk is included in drill rap, then he as well. Young Pappy to me though was the most authentic, had the most potential, and as far as a rapper, skill-wise, he was one of the best drill rappers of all time. All while he was just 20 years old when his life was taken. Pappy was also compared to my favorite rapper Tupac Shakur in look and unbottled energy you can feel through the screen. His songs Killa and Feneto freestyle being some of the best examples. In a time Chicago's rap scene was exploding with new face after new face as drill began to rise, no doubt today Young Pappy would be at the forefront if he didn't lose his life to gun violence. What else stunted Young Pappy's growth? Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth Music. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Young Pappy was a rapper like mentioned from Rogers Park, North Side, Chicago that started rapping at 4 years old after his older brother showed him how. Since then, he would record himself perfecting the only craft he knew, freestyling a cappella, and sometimes to music that looking back shows how talented he really was. But whenever he stepped outside, he was in a war zone of young people claiming different sides and sets that sole goal was to eliminate the ops and smoke them figuratively in a blunt of weed. By 2014, Young Pappy was known by law enforcement and rival gangs as a menace to the streets, mainly because his mouth was always the loudest. In his music videos or on social media, he was quick to make fun of his ops, mostly a street guy by the name Munchie, who was once a friend of Young Pappy and his gang PBG before they turned against him for eliminating a few of Pappy's friends, Two Cups and Pooh Bear, who the gang is named after, and lying to Pappy about it. He also aimed his gun at Pappy a few times but missed until Pappy's guys would get to him first. Pappy was heavy in the streets and on his way with the music, but for the following reasons, he never got to his hopeful destination. Stunt number 1, the invincible mindset. Young Pappy had what I like to call the invincible mindset, in that for whatever reason, he seemed to believe in the character he created online or in the streets that couldn't be touched, and all the ops were afraid of he and his gang. Maybe they had incidences where they had to show their teeth in beef with the ops and won that battle in whatever way, or the people around them filling their head with praise for their music being so, quote, real and right up the alley of what they as fans wanted to hear, that made Young Pappy feel he was too clever or feared that nothing violent could ever happen to him. He was sadly mistaken and should have been warned, seeing as when his life was taken, that had been the third time in a year and a half someone shot at Pappy, eliminating 2 bystanders next to him in the process. One, a friend of his, Marquio Carr, in a McDonald's parking lot, and an aspiring photographer, Will Lewis, getting on a bus to go to work. This just made Pappy go even harder. That's another way in which he reminds me of the late Tupac, in that to me one of Pac's downfalls was him becoming infatuated with the bishop role he played in the movie Juice. Pac was a good kid that was talented and went to dance and art lessons as a child. After that movie, it seemed he never shut the bishop character down. He became lawless in his raps and whenever in the streets, especially if the camera was on. That invincible attitude led to his demise. Pappy in the same way. It's known that in Chicago, the number one way to get clout is dependent on how many people you've eliminated or at least shot or shot at. Far as I know, from research of course, because I wasn't there, Pappy never eliminated anyone. But the character he was creating in the streets, with law enforcement and online, was one of the most reckless, lawless individuals that should be feared, never missing a chance to taunt his ops dead or alive. That mindset set him up for failure.
I put both hands together as I pray for the first day. Praying to God I get to see another birthday. Cause shit is crazy, man. This shit I've been through lately, man. This shit I go through daily. It can't make but it can break me, man. Tell you like my big bro said, nigga got nothing on me. Come on, that's my fucking homie. 30 gotta keep it on me, yeah. It's bad. So what? Is you mad? The I ain't bragging, I do this on a regular. Smoking purple cushion, nigga smoking on some regular. Well, I'm so ahead of you. Yeah, I'm gone, smoking song guy. I'm looking like what the fuck is it, yo? What the fuck? Gotta even make this shit up for? That's nonsense. That's my conscience. Shut up, ho. And if you only got a dub, what you put up for? If my 38 is a snub, what is put up for? You see? You know I gotta keep this hammer at my waistline. Pay attention. Look in the hole. FaceTime. Empty out the shell speed, loaded to replace mine. Learn my lesson, boy. I ain't touching if it ain't mine. Father God, I thank you for my life. I thank you for them lessons, and I thank you for this pipe. I thank you for the blessings that you sent my way, telling me spiritually I can't do shit my way.
Stunt number 2, drug addiction. No matter how cool these rappers make it look, they are all drug addicts in some sort of way. I couldn't name a rapper that raps about street life that isn't hooked on some sort of mind-altering substance. For Pappy, he was usually rolling off pills, and he said as much in his raps. There's a video of him online going to do a featured video, and you could see and hear him behind the scenes clearly high, but not drunk or weed being involved. That high was distinctly the pills allegedly he used to calm his nerves, or so he thought. What shocked me more than that was him saying he could feel a bad vibe from some of the guys in the house he was shooting at, yet he was still uncontrollably high while his brother tried to calm him down so they could leave there safe. I say this was a growth stunt because drugs or substances in excess only holds artists back, specifically popping pills. smoking weed, although you can do that in excess too, is more natural, and the feeling won't have you to the point you're vulnerable and can be violated at any moment, not being able to at least defend yourself. He was allegedly addicted to these pills, and I think it helped him feel he need not worry about any of his ops.
Never brought me back in there. From all these here, from old niggas to little niggas,
You
bro.
gotta get your shit together,
It's
bro.
scooping me, bro.
I don't get no bro.
Alright,
He
damn,
just
bro.
let us over here shoot the video in his crib. Nigga. Most you can do is have some respect for what the fuck he got going on, and then shut the fuck up back here, bro. You loud as fuck. First off, bro.
Alright, bro.
Get the
Finna
air,
take it
G.
easy.
Take it easy,
We
bro.
taking it easy, bro. All I need is a square with some old dope. You ready to pocket the dope?
You need some water, bro.
Stunt number 3, his death. The biggest growth stunt of Young Pappy should be obvious. He died before he could really straighten his life out, or at least use music to put him in a better position to where his life is not constantly in danger as soon as he set foot out the door. On May 29, 2015, Young Pappy was killed around 1:35 in the morning, standing on a block he frequented, even shot a music video a block away just a week before. There's footage on that block where he can be seen taunting his ops for not knowing how to shoot, seeing as they missed him a few times already. It goes back to my initial growth stunt of believing that he was invincible, or so feared that the ops wouldn't or wasn't capable of trying to eliminate him. He died after being pronounced dead a few hours later. He was shot in the back twice. Musically, Pappy was most certainly on his way in the next year or two should he survive. 20 years old is still a child who wouldn't even be allowed to buy beer. But it's an age you can lose your life over something that isn't worth it. All in all, Young Pappy did a lot in his short existence. He had all the talent, drive, personality, street cred, style, timing, yet none of that mattered more than not being around to see it through. His music will live on, and to many, including myself, he was one of the best to do what he did, even if it glorified wrongdoing. Salute, much respect, rest in peace Young Pappy. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth Music, and I'm out.